Okay, had a couple guys asking about some of the different tools and stuff that I use. Okay, this is the most important guy. This is a Mora skinning knife. It's from Sweden. It's high carbon steel blade. They're like $10 if you can find them. The best knife in the world. Hold an edge for a long time. They're super cheap. I've got, as you can see, I got a few, plus I've got a whole bunch over there that are used and abused. Anyway, just a regular generic staple gun. You know, put staples in. Okay, this is my fur brush. It's, you know, pretty used and abused and everything, but it's just a regular, I think they call them horse brushes. Okay, aluminum push pins. That's to do, you know, ears, hold the ears on a coyotes and fox. Plus when I'm doing muskrats and stuff, that's what I use. Okay, I have a small nail. And that's what I use to hold the muskrat boards apart on that part there. And then I have the big nails. That's the ones I use to hold the fox and the coyote apart. Plus that's what I use to board my beaver. So you can see this is a beaver template. Everything is on. Okay. Then rubber gloves. I only use those when I'm dealing a lot with beavers. Especially skin, and the blood on a beaver is just something fierce. I don't know. Anyway, Raid. Just regular home Raid. Just aerosol spray. Okay, I have a whole bunch of these old washcloths. Obviously I don't use them for anything else. Okay, now the fleshing knife. This is the one I probably get the most questions out of. This particular model is a Zepf, Z-E-P-F, or Z in the States if you guys call it. Okay, it's got a flat side and a beveled side. I had a guy asking here about the knife. I always use the beveled side up, and if you look, it's kind of hard to see, but there's some scratches on that side of the blade, and this side is clean. I put those scratches in there because I have had this knife since 1996, and I've sharpened the sharp side once. The scratches are in there, so I know which side is my dull side and which is my sharp side, because it looks exactly the same no matter which way you're using it. Okay, but that's it. It's a super high quality knife. I don't believe you can get them anymore. Post makes a knife like that, really similar, really good steel too. Okay, this is what I use to zip my tails. You can see it was an old throwing knife. Okay, this side is dull and this side is sharp, and what I do is when I run it on the beam, I just push that edge down, split the tails. A lot of this you see in some of the videos, like, you know, when I'm doing the coyotes and the raccoon, you'll see me using that. Regular pair of pliers. That's to pull cartilage out of the ears for the fox and the coyote. I use side cutters. Just a good pair of side cutters. That cuts the front feet of the muskrat off. I took a butter knife, regular table knife, and I just filed the little edges off of that one. That's what I use to scrape muskrats. And then I have my good old Rapala. It used to be a 9-inch filleting knife, and that's what I use to make my initial cuts on beaver and muskrats. Okay, as you see, I'm not exactly high-end on anything except that. Other than that, everything else is pretty low-end. Okay, bottle of glycerin. That's to make beaver lure. This is the thing to grind. You can see the old caster in there. You just push the button, it grinds it up. Okay, some paper towel, you know, just wipe your hands, whatever. And these are the fans I use. I have a pair of them, just regular household stand-up fan. That's it, nothing fancy. So that's oh yeah, the beaver template to make your lines on your beaver board. I don't know where to get these anymore, guys, so don't even ask. I was looking. This is back in the good old days of Saskatchewan Parks, Recreation and Culture, and it's since changed names 100 times. This is probably back from the early 80s or 70s even. Anyway, you just cut your board, put the template on, and you just draw markers. You can see there's just holes in there, and you just put the marker down, draw your lines. And then once you pull it off, just complete your lines on the board. It's nothing too fancy, but it works, makes a good pattern. So, okay. Fleshing beam, I went through that one already. There's a video up on that. And this is what I sharpen my knives on. Just a good old-fashioned belt sander. And I try to keep the old belts around. and try to get them as fine as I can. You know, somewhere around the 500-600 grit is usually good. Other than that, there's just junk that I don't put away. And there you go, satellite radio. That's the way to do it in here. You spend a lot of hours in here. I use those tubs there. I just put the scrapings from the flushing beam. I have a pail of water. It's getting a little skanky, obviously. Has my garbage pail. And that is it. Here's my apron. I use that when I'm doing all my flushing. You see that in all the videos. So anyway, that should help you. Oh yeah, casters. You can just see it's just a piece of string. That's all it is. It just hangs up there. And just hang the casters on string. That's how you dry casters. So, and this is a whole bunch of everything videos. So, okay, and all these strings, people are wondering how to make the loop. I'm trying to do this here. You bring it around back on itself like that. Okay, and I can do it in fast motion. And then it makes a cinch that never ever loosens, and it works good. Sometimes once they get used and abused a bit, then they kind of keep their shape, and that's the same thing on these skinning ones. These are just big, heavier ones, and it's on the big beam, but it's the exact same thing. It's just, and then you put the feet through that hole, and it cinches down on the foot. That's how you hold things. Real quick, real easy, simple. So anyway, there's just some beavers, coyotes, rats, just a little few things I've been doing already this year. So anyway, hopefully that helps you with everything on what I use for all my tools, and hopefully that helps you guys out and any of the questions you had.